Pemberton is a gorgeous little town, perfect for a weekend getaway. Named after an early explorer to the area, Pemberton Walcott, the town was gazetted in October 1925 and has a rich history in the forestry industry. The area was a focus for the settlement of Anzac servicemen after both World Wars and is still proud of that legacy today. Jill joined me on the Friday to bring clean clothes and replacement walking poles, and we spent the next 3 days resting and delivering forward supply boxes to Northcliffe and Walpole before I rejoined the track on the Sunday morning.
Well, I'm off again. It's mid-Sunday morning. I've had 3 glorious days in Pemberton, relaxing, sleeping in a soft bed, tidied up a little bit, well fed, feeling a whole lot better. It's a beautiful day. Clouds in the sky, but blue sky, warmish. A little bit warm, but won't cope with that. We leave out through the top of the town and head to the next campsite, Warren, which is 22.5 k's away. So a decent walk to get me back on the track with. Stefan finished his walk here at Pemberton, so he's caught the bus home. Won't be seeing him again. Maddie, who I've been trailing a day behind ever since I got on the track, said in her book she's having a day's rest, which means that she's now probably 2 days in front of me unless she's stretched it out. So we won't catch her up. So when we get to Warren, be a whole new bunch of people.
Just outside of the town, the track passes the base of the Gloucester tree. Built in 1947, the Gloucester tree was one of 8 carry trees that were made relatively easy to climb so that they could be used as fire lookouts. At 58 metres tall, the tree can be climbed via a series of 153 spikes fixed around the trunk like a spiral staircase, and, honestly, I had intended to climb all the way to the top to show you guys the view. Unfortunately, when I got there, it was closed.
So far I'm about 6 k's into the walk, about just over an hour and a half, and our sunny day is rapidly going bad. Ahead of me, very dark clouds. It's a long way to the shelter yet. I'm really hoping that we don't get the downpour that's threatening. very, very nearly at the Cascades. I've been going for nearly 2.5 hours and the rain has started. It's completely overcast now. The sunny day that we had is gone, hopefully temporarily. It's a case of whether I stop and put a raincoat on or see if it's just a light shower. I've reached a junction in the trail, and unusually for me, I'm going to take it just down to my right of the Cascades. It's a picturesque little spot with a picnic site, and it's about time I took a break, so I'm going to pop down there and have a Snickers. Bibbulmun Trail actually goes to my left over there. Warren campsite 12 k's down the road, it says. We'll pop down there a little later.
Just 8 kilometres from Pemberton, the Cascades is a beautiful spot for a walk, picnic or a dip on a hot day. It has its own loop trail with platforms and boardwalks surrounding the falls, meaning that the Cascades can be viewed from any angle. I stayed at the site for an hour watching the water and the skies.
Well, that was a nice break at the Cascades, chocolate bar, and put my feet up for a while. I'm back on the track. I've been going for about half an hour. Warren campsite's about 12 k's away. I've just come across this old log landing. They often mention them in the books, but they're usually so overgrown you can't see them. The interesting thing about this one is on the opposite side there are remnants of the steel cable that was used by the loggers to pull the logs up the log landing so that they could be loaded on the trucks. It's an interesting piece of history. You don't usually see it, or at least it's too overgrown to see. On the plus side, while I've been having a break, the weather's cleared up. It's a beautiful day again. The sun's out, it's getting warmer and it's humid too. I spy with my little eye something beginning with H. Hiker. I'm catching somebody up, that's unusual. I did just meet somebody at Cascades who has told me that she's met a couple of hikers on the track today that are heading for Warren tonight. So even with the disappearance of Stefan before Pemberton, looks like I'm going to have plenty of company at Warren tonight. 10 miles of walking through the forest, and all of a sudden you burst out onto something like this. I love this. To me, this is what this is about. Open countryside. The forest is all very well, but you're enclosed. I love it when I get to something like this. After saying goodbye to the Donnelly River just before Pemberton, we now say hello to a new river. Say hi to the Warren. Hi, Warren. Very serenely making its way to the ocean. I'm approaching Warren campsite.
As I reached Warren's shelter, something unusual happened. The welcome I got from the 2 hikers at the site was very muted. We were later joined by 2 more, one of which was the hiker I had spied earlier, and the 4 of them conversed freely, but as I went to bed that night I was very much feeling like the new kid in school. Turns out these 4, unknown to each other before departing Kalamunda, had been hutting together for a couple of weeks, and, as it happened, all 4 claimed to be employed within the health system. Under the circumstances, they had formed a strong bond and christened themselves the medical crew. I was destined to shelter with the crew for the next 6 nights, walking over 180 kilometres through some of the southwest's remotest terrain, and while I tried the usual activities like collecting firewood, lighting and maintaining fires, small gifts of confectionery, and a favour to one of them that should have had us friends for life, the attitude towards me always remained cold. The situation came to a head when I reached Walpole. 2 of the crew confronted me over my use of the camera, stating that I had not sought their permission to use it. This despite several times talking about the existing YouTube channel. They insisted I didn't show their faces on the channel, and while I neither needed or wanted their permission to use my own camera, to do so would be rather churlish. As a result of this, the next days will look a bit different. Where possible, I have not used any footage showing the crew, and where not possible, I have blurred their faces. Any mention of the crew's names have been edited out, and the narration will only refer to them as the crew.
Good morning from Warren campsite. I've just set off. It's a 22k walk today to Schaefer campsite. At the minute the weather looks fine. It did rain last night. Didn't get a good night's sleep last night. Too many hotel beds. Not back used to being on a hard floor in a sleeping bag. But it makes for a good night's sleep tonight. Hopefully the rain will hold off and see how we go. Well, this is a fair old bridge. Apparently it was built nearly 100 years ago, made out of sleepers. It was used by the logging industry to haul logs out of here. We're also being rejoined by the Mundabiddy track again temporarily. I guess we all have to get across the Warren River, and this is the best way of doing it. Tell you what, for a substantial wooden bridge, it's very wobbly. This is not going to be here in another 100 years. I'm about 3.5 hours into the walk now, about 15 odd k's, and we've joined another walk, although the signs for this one are vastly different, but they at least do give some warning signs. The Black Pre-Pool Walk. Don't know where it goes or how long it is, but we coexist for a little while. It's blocked off that way, and it's blocked off that way, but if you're willing to wait long enough, right here there appears to be a bus stop. I'm puzzled. Just gone 1 o'clock and I'm approaching Schaefer campsite. 22 k's in around about just over 5 hours, not bad going. It's been a very hilly day today and a very hot day today. We were promised some rain today, but despite a little shower overnight, we've not seen any. There it is, I can see it through the trees now. Schaefer, very picturesquely sitting on the far side of a dam wall overlooking the dam. So, very nice sight.
Schaefer Shelter is named for Jeff Schaefer, whose idea it was to create a long trail across the southwest in the 1970s. Most of his original track has gone, but it was that concept that led to the track we walk today. The camp overlooks a private dam, but a buoyed-off area alongside the shelter is provided for hikers to swim in. All 4 members of the medical crew were with me, 2 of which took advantage of the dam. A fire was lit, but once again the weather gods disapproved, and as night fell, so did the rain. Join me again next time as I and the crew continue south